We'll keep it rolling, guys. How about the Falcons? They shocked all of us on draft night when they took Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. at number 8, despite giving Kirk Cousins a 4-year, $180 million deal this offseason. Penix, coming off a year in which he led his team to the national championship, was the 4th quarterback off the board. Here's Falcons head coach Raheem Morris on their pick.
I hate for it to be like the story of the draft. I know it will be. That's just how our world is based and is driven. But I can't say it gets annoying. I can't say it's annoying, no, because it's what people want to see is pique more interest. I feel like, what's Kelsey's girlfriend name? I feel like her right now, just based off. I'm Taylor Swift right now, and Terry's Kelsey, I guess.
What's Kelsey's girlfriend's name? I never heard it phrased that way. Shay, did Atlanta make a mistake? What do you think, drafting Penix in the first round?
I'm surprised that they made this move. Now, it's very similar to what the Green Bay Packers did with Aaron Rodgers. They gave him both a lot of money, and then they signed Jordan Love. I'm surprised that they gave Cousins because, hear people say, well, Shannon, he's coming off an Achilles injury. Yeah, they knew that, and they still gave him $180 million with $100 million guaranteed and $50 million at time of signing. Right. So basically you're saying that we want to win now and in 2 years, because it doesn't make any sense if you do anything less than 2 years, that Michael Penix Jr. is going to take over, and he's going to continue the winning streak that hopefully Kirk Cousins gets to start now in Atlanta. I was shocked by this because considering that they can't get to the quarterback, they don't pressure the quarterback, their defense is very, very hampered, I was surprised that they went quarterback. I probably would have went defense. D.O., I don't know what you're thinking, but I probably would have went defensively. But the simple fact, I do have Cousins, I have Bijan Robinson, I have Drake London, I have Kyle Pitts. So I think I'm set there because you're signing something that's not going to help you right now. And I would have gotten something that would have helped me right now. I understand long term, but man, $180 million for a stopgap, that's a lot of money, D.O.
Okay, so the Falcons' defense is actually pretty darn good. Now, the pass rush, I agree, not elite, but they had, I think, the 11th ranked defense in football last year, so a good unit. I'll start this by saying this. When the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins, did we think that they had a legitimate chance to win the NFC South? Yes or no?
Yes. The South, yes.
Okay. Do they still have a legitimate chance to win the NFC South after the draft?
Yes.
Okay. In rounds 2, 3, and 4, they went defensive tackle, edge rusher, defensive tackle. The draft does not end after round 1. The second question, when they signed Kirk Cousins, do we think that they could beat the teams realistically? Do we think that they could have beaten San Francisco, Detroit, the Los Angeles Rams, Green Bay, Philly? Did we think they were going to beat them?
No.
Do we think that if they added a player like, and I don't want to pretend like I know these positions inside out, Shannon, but like a Dallas Turner or a Lot 2, do we believe that one player was going to be the difference between them beating those teams and getting to the Super Bowl this year? No.
Well, if you're not a pass rusher away and you're not a quarterback away from beating Green Bay, beating San Francisco, beating these other Detroit, why the hell you pay $180 million for Kirk Cousins?
Because you had no chance. You had no chance to do it without him.
You still don't got a chance.
Yes, they do. They're going to be a good football team.
If they play Detroit, who you taking, Atlanta or Detroit?
Detroit, yes. But they have a chance, Shannon.
Hold on. Of course they got a chance. It's football.
But they didn't without Kirk Cousins.
Hold on. They were like a game and a half. With the inefficient quarterback play that they had last year, Dio.
7 and 10.
They were like only a game. Only a game or 2 games out of winning the South. So Kirk Cousins win you the South. So now you get Detroit, you get Green Bay, you get San Francisco. I don't believe they beat Dallas, a wild card team, or whomever wins that division. Mm-hmm. The other team's going to be a wild card. So I'm trying to figure out, you pay $180 million to say I won the South? Okay.
Well, first of all, let me say this. It's not $180 million. Because only $100 million is guaranteed.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with the $100
million.
Because we know this is the NFL.
Okay,
they find a way to find a way to make sure you don't get that other $80 million. They're gonna find a way to make sure you don't get that other $80 million, right?
Right.
So we got the $100 million. And essentially it's a 2-year deal. That's what everybody said. That's what all the reports are saying. Essentially a 2-year deal. Here's how I look at Atlanta. In 5 of the last 6 years, you've won 7 games. 7-9 when it was a 16-game season, 7-10 over the last 3 years when it was been 17-game seasons, okay? You can't particularly get over the hump. You're in the South. Yeah, you go out there and you get Kirk Cousins. But in the same breath, at that particular moment in time that you did that, you didn't know that you were going to go after Penix Jr. You didn't know he would be there. You didn't know if you would. You might have learned a lot more in the aftermath of signing Kirk.
Yes.
So now here's the question: knowing how important the quarterback position is, fellas, do you do what you can to shore up that for the future, or do you like, listen, this is our need now. We got a need now basis, even though, like Dan said, we got a third, fourth, we got a second, third, fourth, fifth round pick, et cetera, et cetera. I would have gone, if I believe in this guy, don't get me wrong, Shannon, don't just draft no damn quarterback. But if I believe in this guy,
right,
and I believe this brother's got the skill set that I want, that I need, that I'm looking forward to, and I'm fascinated and I'm fantasizing about what this brother's going to be in 2 years. He's already about 24 years of age.
Yeah.
He's going to be about 26 when he's playing, et cetera, et cetera. If I see this, do I do that? Kirk Cousins coming off the Achilles. Yeah. They say he's going to be healthy. But is he? All right, he's going to give him the ball, but do we really know? And then, oh, by the way, he still only got one playoff victory in his career. Yeah. We saw it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it was a third-round pick that was used on Russell Wilson years ago. Mm-hmm. But what I'm pointing to is the money that Seattle paid Matt Flynn. Once Russell Wilson comes up in there and shows that he's better, they're like, damn that money.
Right.
We going to do it. And I'm saying, so now, is it worth it saying, look, if Penix Jr. shows us something, that's even that facilitates him being in there even earlier, and this is what we lost because we've invested this money with Kirk Cousins. So what? So what? If it means I got that quarterback that I want, so what?
So they got Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback as far as production. If Michael Penix goes and plays somehow preseason, whatever you tell me, and they're like, wait, that guy's better than that guy within a year? That's a good problem. I understand, but then they're saying we have something that's better than a top 10 quarterback now. Here, Shannon, my next thing is this, okay? Kirk Cousins is how old, Stephen A?
34, 35 probably.
Kirk Cousins, 36 years old. Okay, 36 years old. Guys are playing well into their mid-30s, late 30s. Everyone bringing up Michael Penix.
That doesn't mean they're playing well. See, what you're doing is that you're taking outliers. You're taking Tom Brady. Name the quarterbacks that's played extremely well as they've gotten late. Now, I understand with medicine, guys are doing a better job of taking care of themselves. The rule changed. They don't take the punishment that they once did. But you make it seem like all these quarterbacks, just because they're 37, 38, 39, are playing well.
Well,
playing is one thing. Playing well is something.
Rodgers
he just finished saying that's an outlier.
Okay, Kirk Cousins is 36 and was playing MVP-level football last year. Stafford's probably 37, lit it up last year. Flacco, we just watched Joe Flacco play last season, probably at 39 or 40 years old, and played tremendous.
Which one of those guys played well coming off an Achilles injury?
Shannon, I'm not disagreeing with you. My point is this. In regards to the Michael Penix, he's not going to play till he's 26. The likelihood is that, fingers crossed, if he is who you think he is, he's going to get 10-plus years of really good quarterback play because guys are playing later. I'm saying in support of Michael Penix is my point with that, Shannon. In the last 5 draft picks, guys who have been, or 5 drafts, the guys that have been at defensive end drafted in the first round, you got 5 hits and 5 misses. That's not a sure thing either. So taking defensive end isn't a sure thing at number 8.
Question.
No. But when I look at the quarterback position, and I love what you do. You don't just take guys. You take transcendent guys. You took Aaron Rodgers, guy got 4 MVPs. Yep. You take Tom Brady. You're like, okay, we see what them guys are doing. You're talking about guys that are transcendent. Kirk Cousins isn't transcendent. We're talking about a guy that got 1 playoff win. For all that, you talk about he played at MVP. You talk about playing at an MVP level and doing all this and all that. He got 1 playoff win. So in other words, there's a possibility.
He's a good player, Shannon.
You can find good players anywhere. You don't normally have to pay $100 million for them, though. That's all I'm saying, Dio. That's all. If he's gonna give me what Stafford gave the Rams, I ain't got no problem.
If he's gonna give me,
damn. So you just made me pay all that money. You mentioned Stafford. He's not Stafford. Is he Brady?
No.
You mentioned Brady. Is he Rodgers? You mentioned Rodgers.
Sometimes there's great players, and sometimes there's just good or really good players.
Dio, this is okay. I mean, I wouldn't know because it doesn't happen to me, but it's all right sometimes to admit when you're stumped. You have nothing to say. You finished, you made your point, but Shannon came back, and you had nowhere to go from there. I know you agree with me, but I'm just saying.
No, you know what's happening is you and Shannon.
What's the problem?
You and Shannon team up on me so much in season that now that you and I agree, you're trying to figure out a way to get back with Shannon. No, that's what's happening.
No, what Stephen A. are telling
Molly knows it.
What Stephen A. is saying, and I've been trying to say, we want someone to make a $50 million mistake on us, a $100 million mistake on us. That's all. Just make them. Just say, well, hey.
Actually, I'd like it to be more.
Okay, Stephen A. said he'd like it to be, well, 180. If somebody make a $200 million mistake, like, whoa. And then everybody having a discussion, and I don't know if Stephen A. worth $300 million.
You know what we're going to do, gentlemen? We're going to remember this. We're going to have the tape, and we're going to revisit this about week 8. We'll give it a few weeks.
We should do that about the Jordan Love pick from a couple years ago, Molly.
Yes.
You know what?
Really?
We should.
But
Dan, you are a good
Dio, that was
prognosticator.
extreme weight circumstances.
On that.
If Aaron Rodgers wasn't being such a jerk and such a butt, he would have still been in Green Bay, and you know that.
All right, let's go to break.
He didn't.
Shannon.